Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to the very first episode of Astral Drive. Very excited to be here. This is a big thing. It is going to be a bi-weekly tabletop RPG streaming. It is streaming using a system that will be released later this year from my company, Axiom Games LLC. And a completely homebrewed universe with a couple of with a few wonderful players, and I'd like to introduce them right now. First, you know him from the channel. You love him. He's the Buildmaster General. He is playing Nullus Stonehand today, and that is my boy Phil Billy 330. I don't know why I said 3 Billy.
What's up, guys?
Sorry.
All right, you're good. You're good. Excited to be here.
Then you may remember him from the Star Trek, our Star Trek stream back in the day, Star Trek Axiom. He was the mastermind of this, but this time he's along for my ride, which is no fun, I'm sure. But Aether Dios, he's playing Gerald Abrego, if I pronounce that right.
It'll go. I'm not going to be any better.
Abrego?
Welcome. Abrego.
And then finally, our unofficial TTRPG partner, Wizards Rice Bite, Ash. He is playing Alfred Whitecastle.
Hello. Very much looking forward to trying a British accent out. I'm feeling terribly. Terribly.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to get right into it, guys, because I'm a firm believer in show don't tell. So let's do this. Alfred Whitecastle, you are in your current office. You have just received the authorization in the last 2 days that you will be able to lead the expedition that you have been planning and leveraging for some time into the Rockford system. Now, this system is farther than anybody from the Hearth system has ever gone. It would be a huge leap, and there would be huge Scalera Plague risk here, which is why you have... I'm sorry, everybody. I drink fizzy water. You're going to hear some belches. Should have done that disclaimer at the top. I also ate a bunch of pasta, so I apologize. But you are about to make this expedition into the Rockford system. However, because of the high risk of the Scalera Plague, because of that long jump radius, you have had to get some outside funding. And the Church of Matthias from Genesis, well, the Shepherdism, but specifically the Church of Matthias, has decided to fund your expedition on the caveat that you will have to take with you one of their auditors. Specifically, he is arriving on this day. In addition to that, you have to put together a team. It's going to be a small team, like 3-4 people. And you have been looking over dossiers all day. However, it is at this point that you are told on your little intercom that you have somebody waiting outside your office who would like to speak with you. They are a can't even remember my own names. They are an academic of the Fifth Order. So they would be ranked higher than you, but in a different division of the Hearth Collective.
And my secretary is calling this in, I suppose, from my office.
Yeah.
Did you get a name?
Yes. I'm sorry. His name is Thaddeus Catch. He works here on the Risen. He is in charge of training and placement, as all academics are.
And does he have an appointment? I'm a very busy man.
He does not have an appointment, sir, but he says it's very urgent, and it's specifically relating to your new expedition.
Very well, send him in.
All right. The door opens, and you see this guy come in. He is tall and very thin. He has kind of wire-rimmed circled glasses, very narrow, like only the amount of glass needed to use to see sort of thing. And he has kind of a almost like a mutton stash going on up the side of his face, but it's very well trimmed and neat. His officer's uniform is absolutely neat and pristine. He has one cane in his right hand, and he has a slight tinge of a blue glow to the whites of his eyes, which signifies that he is an engineer with the archipelago, or from the archipelago. So he uses the nanotechnology that they have there. Hello, Surveyor Whitecastle. I'm so glad you wish to see you were okay with seeing me today. I really want to speak with you about your upcoming expedition.
And you are from the histories. This is correct.
No, I am in charge here of training and placing new.
Oh, I see.
New students, new initiates.
I see. I see. And so you have a suggestion, I take it, for my expedition?
Actually, I believe I could be some benefit of you. I know everybody here like the back of my head. I am well respected on this ship, and I do have some recommendations, of course. I also have a very specific recommendation for you.
I'm intrigued. What recommendation is that?
He walks in, kind of sits at the chair in front of your desk, and hands you a file.
Okay, I take the file and flip it open, look it over.
All right, give me just because you're trying to skim it real quick to gain information, give me a perception check. You can use awareness. Oh, also, everybody's got to take their tokens for their momentum. Your starting momentum is equal to your charisma score.
Right, okay.
And I have 6 starting momentum because there is 3 of you.
Got it. Alright, so perception check plus my awareness. Ooh, did not do great. That would be a 10.
Okay, you get the good stuff. You get the most important things. And you can feel that he's definitely here with a purpose. And if this is the first file he's handing you, it's definitely this is the purpose. Basically, right off the bat, you get the name. It is a orc named Nullus Stonehand, which is a kind of a strange name for an orc. They do have a lot of suffix names on Axiom, but they're usually very medieval, that sort of thing, whereas this doesn't sound like a normal name. That allows you to kind of put the pieces together, and you see that he actually comes from Genesis, which doesn't make any sense right off the bat. You don't really see why the reasoning for that is, but you do see that he has a bunch of disciplinary measures leveled against him on the back pages.
Okay, I've flipped through it, looking it over. And why, may I ask, you suggest a troublemaker is right for this expedition?
Every expedition needs a troublemaker. I don't know if this is your first expedition or your whichever, but troublemakers come in handy, do they not? Especially when you're faced with trouble. I understand your apprehension, but I assure you Nullus Stonehand is an upright person who has nothing but respect for those who give him respect. He has had some personal issues as of late that has caused these disciplinary matters, and I think that service on a ship will do him great good. Plus,
some distance from his issues at home.
Kind of. I don't want to go into it. It's not my business to speak of, but he doesn't need guidance. What he needs is a task, a mission, and this is perfect for him. He didn't love his placement. that he was placed in the as a surveyor. But again, I think that he will see the benefit in it once we get out there. But he needs an expedition, and unfortunately, most of the expeditions leaving the Risen right now do not want to take a chance on him.
I feel like I would benefit from an introduction to this individual.
Wonderful. That's all I ask. And I will say this, should you give him true consideration, I will personally owe you a favor, and I think you know what that means on this ship. Just given my order.
Indeed. Of course. Where is he now?
Let me go speak with him. Let me set up the introduction, and then I will let you know. I'll get back in touch with you. I know you're very busy going through some of those personnel files, as well as, from what I understand, your expedition is co-sponsored.
It is indeed.
So you get a babysitter. Ah, my dear friend. Babysitters are the most fun. I've had my share of babysitters before. I mean, we must remember that the Hearth Collective is servant to all of these worlds, not the other way around.
Of course. We are here to serve the betterment of all worlds.
Of course. It's hard when somebody who does not understand sets foot. Fingers crossed you get a good one.
Well, only time will tell.
Well, I'll take my leave of you, and I'll help you with the personnel files later. I wish to go speak with Stonehand immediately, if that's all right with you.
Of course. Let me know when it is a good time for me to make my introductions.
Of course. And again, I owe you a favor. And then he walks out, kind of using his cane. Philbilly, Nullus, you have been confined to quarters due to the disciplinary actions spoken about in the previous scene. Yet nobody's taking your guns away or anything like that. It's not necessarily that you're a prisoner. You just can't go anywhere and get any more fights. Is basically the situation. You're kind of waiting to see what happens. You're kind of feeling like they're probably going to wash you out, even though you've got your ranking of surveyor. The amount of problems behind it might not put you on a ship, might not put you in a charge. And you're not exactly sure that that's a bad thing at this point. But you get a knock at your door.
Come on in.
Door slides open, and it is the only friendly face to you, really, Thaddeus Catch. Ah, Nullus, enjoying your incarceration?
It's made ever the more pleasant since you arrived, Thad.
Ah, salt of the earth you are. Did you have to punch him in both eyes, though?
I told you, Thaddeus, I don't know if I made the right decision. The lack of respect for this whole hierarchy bullshit, it ain't my thing.
I understand where you're coming from. It's very hard to transition from the life on the ranch to this sort of situation, but we would benefit from you, and if you don't mind me saying, I think you would benefit from us. So I am here to beseech you on that, if you don't mind.
Let's hear it, Thad.
I'd like you to go on one expedition. It's a rather long and dangerous expedition, but should you not like it, no one's keeping you here. The Hearth Collective does not have requirements for service, so you can always walk away afterwards. But I think it would behoove you to give one of them a try, to see what's out there. And while you might not get the answers you're seeking, there might be some other answers you receive.
You've been one of the only respectful types on this ship. And it ain't danger that I'm worried about. I just want I joined the collective for a specific reason, to get some answers, as you well know. And as a surveyor, I don't see how that's going to all line up, but I do respect your words, Thaddeus, and I will at least do my best to give your proposition a chance.
He pulls out some special archipelago liquor that you've had before and tastes really good. It's one of the things that you guys do every once in a while that kind of bonds you. He pulls out a couple of glasses, drops them. He pours a small finger in each. He's like, "Drink with me."
Will do. I'll reach my hand out and partake.
He takes it. He takes a sip. You think, and then he goes. What if I were to tell you I would go with you? This is highly irregular. His job as academic is to train initiates. That's it. That's all he does. So for him to potentially go on an expedition is kind of unheard of, especially at his level of order.
I mean, I would welcome the company, Mr. Ketch, but I must ask, isn't this a bit out of your normal realm of expertise?
He gives you kind of like a playful grin and goes, "Are you saying this old body can't handle itself anymore?"
No, sir, I would never imply that you're incapable, just that maybe it isn't. I guess I would question why make that decision.
Nullis, when I came to the Hearth Collective, I had nothing. No family, no backstory, no background, not even an adopted one. I made the Hearth Collective my family. That has come with serious drawbacks. We've known each other for a short time, but I value you as a friend and a confidant. And I have some time off, so what better than to help you in your transition? And again, look, I don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here, but I truly think the relationship can benefit. You're amazing with those guns. I've seen it. You have a quick wit, and you're good at figuring out situations on the fly. These are all needed, especially on surveyor missions when no one knows what they're going into.
I understand, Thaddeus, and I would welcome your company. However, I don't want you to feel like you owe me anything. You've already done me the favor of, unfortunately, getting me put in this brig rather than being tortured by the many guards that I may have wronged.
I would hope that none of them torture you. We have rules here, after all. It's not all bad. We're not all cloak and mirrors and shadows and whatnot.
And that may be, but it is the rules around here are very different than anything I know. I will attend this mission that you've apparently lined up, and if you choose to come, it would be welcomed. However, I don't want you to feel like I need a babysitter. I can handle myself.
I never said you couldn't. I don't think you can't handle yourself with a gun, and I certainly know you can handle yourself with your fists. Dealing with other Hearth Collective, I think you need a little assistance in. If you don't mind me saying,
That may very well be, Mr. Thaddeus. That may be.
Alright, we are going to cut over to Aether Dios, Gerald. You are on the shuttle, a smaller ship, kind of heading to the Risen. It's not in deep space, but it's farther out because everything in the Hearth system is in one solar system, just one solar system. which is a lot of space, but small amount of space for sci-fi stuff. So you're kind of being shuttled into the Risen to kind of meet this situation and meet these people. You're on the ship with a couple of just normal initiates. One of them looks incredibly nervous. He's a human, just kind of like a little bit sweaty, like not sure about his decision to join an intergalactic military force. And then the other one next to him is kind of like, he's bigger, he's more buff. He looks like he was born ready to do this sort of thing. And he's kind of eyeing you. So describe your character real quick.
So hasn't met anybody else.
Yeah.
Gerald is an Arma. He is a 6'8" armadillo man. Well dressed. Bowler cap. Glasses. Suit.
Love the bowler cap.
Keeps himself relatively quiet, well appointed. He's young for an Arma, but very excited. He's never been off-world. I've honestly never been this far from family in a while.
Mm-hmm.
A while was several thousand kilometers ago. Like a mottled brown gray.
Okay. The guy across from you kind of looks at you. The one who's kind of like bulky and just looks at you and goes, "Damn. You know, I'm from Genesis. I ain't never seen an Arma dressed so good. I mean, no offense. No offense intended."
Well, much appreciated. We keep to ourselves generally. What brings you all the way out here, anyway?
He goes, "Oh, joining the Hearth Collective. Joining the Hearth Collective. Gonna get me some action. Ain't that right?" And he nudges the nervous guy, and the nervous guy's like, hey man, chill out. Chill out, okay? I mean, it's not like we're just gonna be shooting things all day, every day, right? Right? And then he looks at you, and he goes, the more nervous man seems a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more knowledgeable. And he goes, Are you with the church? You can tell both these people would be from Genesis, since that's where your shuttle came from.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we would... Presumably, it would be a very awkward trip otherwise. Why, of course. Matthias be with us. And, his word and his prophet as well.
They're both kind of flabbergasted by this. We're just gonna pause for 1 second. Ash, wizard?
Yes, I'm here.
Your face is frozen, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is in like a Joker style freeze.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. I just disconnected my camera and re-plugged it in.
No problem.
I don't know what's going on there.
You're fine. It was weird. I hadn't noticed it.
If everything works.
I hadn't noticed it, and then somebody pointed it out to me, and I looked over and I was like, "Holy crap! He's just been smiling for 17 minutes."
What's with that really creepy guy over there?
It looked like the whole time I was having my scene, he was just like...
He's extremely happy with what's going on right now.
Yeah, I actually pulled it up on YouTube to double check, like, what the heck was going on my camera? Is it on my side? And then I see my face looking off to the side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not playing this character that way, but...
Also, Wiz, next time we have a scene, we should describe our guy. We forgot. Both of us did.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to call it out.
I haven't encountered you yet. It's fine.
Yeah, I was going to call it out. Don't worry. I didn't think those scenes needed you guys being described yet.
Fair enough.
This one needed it because I wanted people to realize that he's sitting there well dressed, so that these guys would be weird about it. Okay, so back to it. The one guy who's sweaty is actually the buff guy too. They both kind of like do a quick like whatever the version of Hail Mary cross thing is for the shepherdism, and then goes, I truly meant no disrespect by it, none whatsoever. You're man of the cloth. I apologize.
I am but an auditor, but here to seek out and find new worlds to keep track of our the church's needs.
The one guy looks at you and goes, "Wow, a member of the church going out on an expedition? That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that you're going to be taking shepherdism out across the stars to the heathens in other in other places."
But that's such is the way. We shall see what's out there. And I see everyone here else is going to join the collective.
Yeah, they both nod, and then you guys all of a sudden you're kind of abruptly stopped by this voice from the front. Hey, everybody shut up! Everybody be quiet! Silence now! Silence now! You see just this large, burly dude. He's a human, kind of gray, almost Nick Nolte-like hair all over the place, and kind of chunky, but he is still wearing kind of like Hearth Collective clothes, but they've got like grease stains on them. They're kind of ripped in places. And he goes, "Everybody shut up now. We got a ship out there. They're scanning us. Everybody need to be quiet." They get real quiet. Give me a perception awareness, because the two guys across from you seem to know what's going on here. The difficulty's 10. Keep forgetting to give the difficulty.
20?
Wow. Okay, gain of momentum. You definitely can tell. They definitely know what's going on. You're very aware of, like, them. You even hear one of them kind of, like, talk back and forth, and he's like, "It's the Dead Sea, man. It's the Dead Sea. I know it." And then the other guy's like, "Shut up! Shut up!"
He's gonna quietly like join their conversation.
Okay.
What's this Dead Sea?
The bigger guy kind of looks at the nervous guy now and goes, "You keep quiet. Don't bring that evil on us." And then the quiet guy's like, he's got a right to know, and he's a man of the cloth. And he turns to you and he goes, "Dead Sea, they're like raiders, like space raiders, basically. What they do is they attack other ships. And there's always been raiders running around, but these guys, they're real scary. Word out has been they've hit some ships that nobody else has been able to hit. They've even hit Hearth Collective ships, like big ones, and been successful with it." The other one that kind of looks at him...
Vampires, right?
The one looks at him and goes, No, there ain't no vampires. Vampires are all gone. What you talking about?" He's like, No. What they are is those dirty heathens in Axiom, man. Those guys from the frickin' hills. They get ships every once in a while, then they come up here and they start raiding on other ones. Well, the nervous guy actually kind of nods, even though the first guy's very terse and terse about it, and he's like, "Actually, yeah, he's kind of right. I mean, they hate us. Those Northlanders on Axiom, they hate us, and they've got whole tribes of people just like dedicated to taking us out. And usually it's offshoots of them, but nobody's ever had the the ability to take down harsh ships other than, maybe the AEF, but they don't do any fighting with them. At this point, the weird guy from the front kind of walks back and is like, all right now, it's all right. Ship on past. I don't know what it was looking at. Sure didn't look right. All right, everybody can go back to being noisy and stupid. And then he walks back to the front. They seem to relax a little bit.
The shepherds were with us.
Oh, one guy looks at you and like does the motion again and just like, oh Lordy, it was. Thank God you were here. And then the other guy's like, yeah, that's right. It's because you were here. You're with the shepherds. The shepherds were with us. At this point, we shall cut away. All right, so bring this up real quick. All right, so Wiz, Alfred, what are you doing? You've got your guy coming in on a shuttle. Are you gonna go meet him? Are you just gonna go to get a drink? You can go through personnel files. What are you gonna do?
I'm probably going to continue to go through personnel files.
Okay, all right. Personnel files suck. You're not having it. There's so many of them. You're literally on a ship that's just made to train people in the initiative ways. But there's a couple of possible like standouts to you that might be useful. Some good shooters, some good medics. Really, what the mission is going to require, you're going to require a couple of field people, just people in the field who can shoot, who can fight. But you're also going to need somebody who can do medicine. You've got the piloting down, if I recall correctly, for ship stuff.
Yes.
And then, of course, you're going to have your babysitter. But you could use somebody who has knowledge of medicine, and you definitely need an engineer.
Okay. Do I see anybody there that looks promising from medicine or engineering?
Give me a... I think this is going to be IQ. Give me an IQ roll. You can use awareness.
All right. What are my stats? Okay. An IQ that's separate from the intelligence score?
That's the intelligence. It's the same
Okay.
score. Sorry, sometimes I call it IQ. That's my bad. It's intelligence.
I gotcha. So intelligence plus awareness, he said, is okay?
Yeah.
Oh man, I am not. That's another 10.
All right, you find there's not a lot. Like, you've got some people in here that look promising. You have some people who look very unique. The most unique one you find is one named Certs, which is a rare Bombus who has joined into the Hearth Collective. That's why she stands out to you, especially because not only is she a Bombus, but she's a female, which the Bombus are basically a bee-like race from the archipelago. You're familiar with them.
Right.
And basically they're very few females because the females are always queens, basically.
Oh.
So, like, for one to not only not be on bomb, not only, like, for you to see a female, but there to be one here and has decided not to be a queen of a hive and be here is very rare and very unique.
Okay.
The Bombus rarely join the Hearth Collective. Let me put it that way.
And her name was Certs?
Yeah, CYRZT. Their names are weird. Sci-fi game. Weird names.
Yep.
Just make sound effects.
Okay.
So I always go sci-fi.
And does anybody stand out for the medicine?
Oh, Zert was the
Is that a
medicine.
separate roll?
That's the medicine.
Zert was the medicine.
Zert was the medicine. I thought you were rolling for medicine. It's my bad. You also see on the medicine a Kelly Callens. She did not score too good. She didn't score too good. Not necessarily in the medicine. She seemed very gifted in the medicine, but she scored very poorly in overall awareness, situational awareness. She seemed overtly focused on the task at hand.
Okay.
But she might be a prime candidate because nobody's going to be looking for her because of those situational awareness issues.
Right. And can I do a roll for the engineer?
Sure. Difficulty's 10.
Please 10. Okay. Actually rolled much better this time. It's going to be like a 17.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And since I rolled so well, can I narrow that down? At all?
Yeah.
Like maybe specific qualities of the person I'm looking
Okay, yeah. Give me some specific qualities for the engineer.
for. Somebody, Kelly has sort of caught my interest. Somebody who's hyper focused on their job and will
Okay.
get their job done practically no matter what, and can tune out other situations around them for the sake of their job. So anybody else, any other files that have something along those lines would be interesting.
Okay, you find one guy immediately. He is not really liked, but he works on the Risen. He is a very, very old timer, but he's never moved up, even in his field. Like and he wouldn't be an engineer. I think it's technician is the Hearth system thing, the Hearth collective name for it. But he's been a technician of the 7th Order for literally like his entire 20-year career. He's never moved up. He's never been promoted. He's never switched ships. He's just been here. It's like he got promoted once out of the 8th so that he could tell a couple of people what to do, and then that's where he's been this entire 20 years. He's almost 50. He's a human, kind of a chunkier guy, white scraggly hair. Even in his personnel file, he looks incredibly dirty and just not fun. He looks like a hobo in a military outfit. However, his aptitude scores for like astral drive repair, like ship maintaining, that sort of thing, is off the charts. And it appears from like his file that like he would be easy to requisition or like request, but no one requests him because look at him. But he would be very easy to request because of that. However, he's a diamond in the rough, so to speak.
Okay, and what was his name?
His name is Carl Vargas.
Does strike an interest to me. And I know that my babysitter from the church is coming, but I'm just in my office.
Yeah.
Going through these records, right?
Yeah, you're basically ignoring them arriving.
Okay. So yeah, I think I will probably. Is it later in the evening? Would my secretary still be there?
Yeah, she's still there.
I would probably tell my secretary to sort of schedule something so that we can look into Kelly and Carl Vargas a little bit more closely and see if we couldn't get them lined up for the expedition or whatnot. The next step, I guess, in the process.
Okay. All right. She has no problem with that. Then she also reminds you that Gerald Abrego is arriving in like 2 minutes or whatever. So you're gonna be late for him pulling in, but she's just reminding you, like, hey, he's gonna be here. And then she hangs up.
All right, I think at this point, I'll probably start making my way down to the I'm guessing this is an airlock.
Yeah. The Risen is a huge ship. It's a huge intergalactic ship. It's basically like a step below space station. It floats around and it just basically picks up initiates. It trains them right there. then it assigns them missions and expeditions from there. Like, that's how it works. Like, it is a one-stop shop for... it's basically a floating college, is what it is, for the Hearth Collective. So it's very big. There's tons of different airlocks and ports with the ships coming in. And you know that you're meeting him in ship 2B. Hangar Bay 2B.
And I need to be kind of meeting him and then showing him where his quarters are before the expedition begins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll start making my way over there at that point.
All right. Okay, back...
A little late.
Back with Gerald. Gerald, your ship pulls in to the hangar bay. You're very happy to be here. This was your first time in space. It made you a little queasy at first, but you're kind of getting used to it. And there is something freeing about not being in the city anymore, in your city anymore, in Matthias City. Like, being out of there, being away from Tobias, being away from all of your past. There's something very freeing about this that you're kind of enjoying. That enjoyment is quickly cut off, though. Give me an awareness perception check as you step off the ship.
13? Oh, no, 9.
I got...
9.
For everybody, if I do not give you a difficulty, yell at me. If I do not give you a difficulty, yell at me. From here on out, if I don't say a difficulty when I do it, just please yell at me, because I've forgotten to do it 3 times, and it's bad GMing. All right, so you kind of get off, and then you just start to hear some screams from the other place. This is a big, I want to say this is about like 200 feet across, like almost like a 200 feet square, with one wall is just open into space, but has kind of like a one-sided force field that kind of allows ships in, kind of like a fish trap, and doesn't let ships back out, or air.
Yep.
Kind of Star Trek style. So you guys have landed, you're kind of getting off, you start to hear these screams. Your roll is good enough, you kind of look up, and it's at this point you just see this huge ship. Huge by your standards, but not huge by the Risen standards. Like almost like a Corvette, maybe like the size of 3 of your shuttles, kind of barrel through the force field into the holding bay, into the HUD bay, the hangar bay, and just slams through another one of the ships. It flips with a huge explosion. It's impossible for you to tell in the chaos, but you think the ship is made to run into things. You're not 100% positive, but it just like crushes through it. It's got jagged edges on it and all sorts of things. There's no landing docks put down or anything. It just slams into the hangar bay, crushes through this. It explodes. This ship kind of flips over, starts to explode. Give me a agility check, and then you may add... I'm going to say you can add your conditioning.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Not a lot, but 17.
Oh, that's good. And I did not give you a difficulty, but you pass it, so take one moment. Oh, wait, no. I told you to do it. Never mind. So at this point, the ship explodes. Not the ship that came in, but the ship that got flipped. It explodes. A huge piece of door comes flying at you. You manage to just dive out of the way as this metal just literally cuts a guy in half. One of the guys behind you, the buff guy, just shreds him and just slams into the side of the ship. The whole ship kind of twists and comes off its landing gear and falls to the side just from the force of the impact coupled with the force of the explosion. You hit the ground and you just hear screaming everywhere. It's at this point you kind of look up and you see the ship, this death-looking ship. It looks like Vikings put this ship together. Like if Vikings made a spaceship, that's what this would look like. It has on its exterior skeletons and shit tied to it, spikes tied to it, extra pieces of plating just like welded to it like loosely and with very little knowledge about how to do like engineering or stuff. there is another thing to it, and that is it has this weird black reddish, like real dark reddish glow to it as it crashed through the force field. And then there's just all sorts of screaming. People are running. You see the guards are kind of scrambling to try and figure out what's going on. And it's at this point that out of the bottom of the Viking ship pour Vikings. Literally like orcs and goblins and humans covered in like armor. They look they look world specific to you, but they definitely look like straight up Vikings. Blades, axes, everything. They just charge out screaming. Ah! What do you do? They are their ship is roughly, I want to say, from you about 75 feet away where the chaos is starting. The exploded ship is about 25 feet after it flipped from the impact. So what are you doing?
Running.
That's a good call. I think that's a great call. All right, so you start running for the door. Give me an agility check. You can use conditioning again. I do want you to beat a difficulty of 10.
16.
Okay, take them. Oh no, wait, that's reactive. Never mind. So you are just sprinting. You hear the explosions. You hear guns going off. Boom, boom, boom. Laser shots going off. You hear screams and whatever. Do you look back or anything? You don't even know where you're running to, right? Like you've never even been on a spaceship.
Nope.
Okay, give me.
There's a spiky thing that way that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in a book. Not that they gave us a whole lot of books that describe things like this, or that ever showed up near a port, and, dead men turn no profit. I'm out.
All right, you're sprinting. You're just sprinting away from them. You're about 50 feet away from any sort of door or anything like that.
Can I do it? Can I just try to, I guess, stealthily get out of the way?
Yes, I will allow that. I'll even allow you to possibly earn a momentum because that was your idea. Give me stealth agility to kind of hide, so to speak.
Difficulty.
Thank you, Phil. Difficulty is going to be, we're going to say, well, it would be plus their awareness, so we're going to say it's 13.
Alright, it's, was it agility stealth?
Yes.
Does it count as contested?
It is not contested roll, no.
Alright, it is a 12, but I reduced the difficulty by 2.
Because of Keen, right?
Yep.
All right, so you pass, you gain a momentum, and you kind of start to like weave and duck and dodge between like different crates that people were unloading, other ships' landing gear, as just explosions and gunshots are going over. You end up looking back now just because you have to try and kind of find your way through it so that people can't see you, to stay out of their eyesight. You actually see something incredibly horrifying. First of all, the Vikings are winning, which you wouldn't expect to happen with a bunch of people with guns. But not only are they winning, but there is Zix, straight up Zix, appearing in the whole fray of everything. They look different though. Instead of the black, just the straight black kind of almost mist-like bodies, they're actually like a crimson red. Like a real dark crimson red kind of mixing with black. It's real weird and trippy looking. But you've never seen a Zix, but this doesn't even fit the stories of them. But you know what that is.
It definitely looks like not anything that's normally around here.
No.
It definitely looks like some kind of demon. I'm gonna make he's just gonna like reflexively mutter several different prayers into the shepherds, the native people.
Just gonna start praying.
Several different. He's got a couple of charms. He's in his pocket is just gonna kind of like pray to a couple of things quietly in the corner.
That's amazing. All right, so you're praying and trying to find your way out of this when you kind of walk around like a crate and you see the scraggly guy from the ship and he's just like, "Oh, you still alive?"
Is he like hiding?
Yes, he's hiding. Like you bumped into him hiding while you're hiding. And he's got a Hearth Collective uniform on and a gun on his side. The gun doesn't look like it's ever been fired, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna motion very quietly.
He's like, "Oh, that don't matter. You hear all the noise, the screams? Oh, those screams. We can talk all day long. They ain't gonna hear us over them screams. Why don't you follow me? I know an access panel."
If you know your way around here, that's got to be Matthias's will. As long as it's away from there.
Matthias's will. That ain't Matthias's will. That's just the will, man. That's the will of me trying to stay alive. All right. He starts to like lead you. He's like, I ain't dying for this. And then he leads you to like a grate, kind of like pulls it off real quick, knows how to get the screws away. And then it's somehow big enough for you as well. Like it's a large kind of access port that you could kind of go in and shut the grate behind you. Only to look to see that like chaos has completely engulfed the landing bay, and the Zix, the Vikings. Here's what's crazy, and actually give me a perception awareness roll. I want to see. The difficulty will be. I'm gonna make the difficulty 5, but depending on how much you beat it by is how much extra information I'm gonna give you. Because you look back once when you kind of come through the grate.
Not checking whether it's contested or not. That is a flat 18.
Okay. It's not contested.
I would take it as a bonus to just somehow manage to look through my girth that's filling the entire like vent.
Basically, you notice that none of these Crimson Zix are attacking the Raiders in any way, shape, or form. They're fighting alongside of them.
I mean,
and you got an 18, so you also notice one. You see the leader, who's got charge. He is probably the biggest fucking orc you've ever seen in your life. Not that you've seen any orcs in your life, but he's huge. He's got 2 massive tusks that come out of each chin. He's got basically red hair in a mohawk that goes back into a ponytail of mohawk. It's just hair everywhere. But what's crazy about him is he's wearing armor. He has this kind of massive one-handed axe that's kind of got a black blade to it with grooves coming off so that it can actually let the blood out easier. But his left arm is glowing the red-black.
yeah, that's bad.
It's very bad. It's all the bad. It's all the bad.
Nope.
All right, we're gonna switch to Phil Billy. Phil, you are in your room. You guys drank a little bit. You're not enough to get drunk, but you're feeling good. You guys are telling stories at this point. That's what it always boils down to. You telling stories about like cow hands and cow herding, and him telling ridiculously over the top stories that definitely never happened to him while he was in the field. And that's when all of the red lights start going off, and then basically an announcement comes over the loudspeakers to basically all essential personnel report to your positions, all non-essential personnel and initiates confined to quarters, and it just keeps repeating. And you see Thaddeus stand up, and he's like, "What? Like, what is this?"
You tell me, Thad. I've been on this ship, and not a fraction of the time you have, but all I know is that the vibration, the explosion sounds that we just heard cannot be normal. What did it say? I don't even know. How did you say it? Am I essential personnel?
It's like, actually, technically, I'm not quite sure what you are. I mean, you have your surveyor, but you're confined to quarters. You're not an initiate anymore, but you don't have an assignment, so I'm not exactly sure what you should be doing.
Well, I
Myself,
sure as hell ain't staying in these quarters to die.
it's like, I haven't seen those lights come on since I've been stationed here, and I have been stationed here a very long time. No one attacks a Hearth Collective ship, not this size.
Yeah, I don't know if that I ain't a fan of those absolutist words.
He actually kind of thinks about it for a second. He goes, well, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. You're right. All right, come with me. You can come out of the room with me, but just don't punch anyone, unless they're bad guys.
Bad guys. Okay.
He opens the door, and then you just see this hall. The hallway has got chaos going on, but just chaos. People running back and forth. Thad grabs one of the people going by of lower order and goes, "What in the name of God is going on?" And then he turns around and goes. The guy goes, "You haven't heard? We're being attacked." It's like, attacked? The Risen? This ship is being attacked. How is that possible? And he's like, I don't know. Some people are saying the Zix. Some people are saying the Dead Sea. Who knows? But they're down. They're already in the ship. They took the hangar bay. Hangar bay 1. What was it? 2B? Hangar bay 2B. And from what I understand, they're already spreading out through the ship. We've got to find them. We got to take them out. And then he just like pulls away. He's like, I got to get to my position. And then he runs off. And you see Thaddeus is truly flabbergasted for a second, just because, like, he's right. This is an academic ship. It's huge. It's got tons of defenses. There isn't really a ship that could rival it other than the AEF and their friends. So, like, there's nobody has attacked this ship ever, basically.
I look at Thaddeus. I'm like, well, it looks like you can change that sign of days since last attack, Thaddeus.
He goes, yes, and it was a long streak. Everything must come to an end, I suppose.
All streaks do.
We should get to the bridge. Find out more information.
I think I would unholster my pistols as we move, and I would follow what Thaddeus says, seeing as how I'm a newbie.
He actually looks at you for a second when you unholster your pistols. Then he kind of thinks about it for a second, then just nods at you, and then keeps moving. You guys start to move towards the bridge, towards the hallway. You head over to a lift, and you hit the lift button. Slowly, the lift starts to come up. Give me an awareness perception roll with a difficulty of 10.
Uh, 11.
Okay. As the door starts to open, something just like drops in your stomach because something doesn't feel right here. And then when it opens, you kind of start to see inside, and you don't see Hearth Collective anything. You see kind of like shimmering red. And yeah, you feel as though you should get out of the way of the doors.
Like a fog.
Yeah.
And that's coming from the lift that we're in front of.
So it's like elevator doors that are like opening, like slowly opening, and just as the sliver opens, you kind of see inside, and you can see kind of the crimson, red, and black that I described to Aether earlier.
What is around us? Like, are we at the end of a hallway, or?
You're
Like,
in.
what's my surroundings?
You're in kind of like a semi-large lobby with like a series of lifts from different places, from one place to another. Kind of like a junction box of elevators for the ship, so to speak. So there's like 5 elevators right in a row. And then it's, I would say it's narrow to the point of behind you, but it's actually kind of long to the right and left. So I'd say to the right and left, you have about 20 feet before you'd hit a hallway, whereas you only have about 10 feet before you're back in the hallway you came from.
I think I would, at this point, grab Thaddeus and kind of like, so we're facing this elevator, put him against the wall, like, right next to the elevator, and I would stand in between him and the elevator with my back against the wall, like in a ready.
Okay. All right. All right.
So whatever comes through that door, I would get,
give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Because the door's opening, and we'll see if you can't get there fast enough to avoid them. So
agility plus stealth.
Agility plus stealth. Their awareness would add 2 to the difficulty. So we're gonna say 10. So it'd be a 12 difficulty total.
Rolled a 16 plus 4, so 20.
All right, so 20. That's fucking good. All right, so the door, you like, and put him to the side. He kind of like flattens. He knows what's going on. He didn't catch it, obviously, but he knows enough to follow your lead without problem. You kind of put the door up as the door dings open, and you see for the first time ever a Zix step off the thing, and it's basically like, it looks like what it enveloped a human, but it's got this just like black. It almost looks like if you took a human and made him out of fire, and the fire was actually black and crimson red and just kind of swirling. That's what this looks like. There's no eyes. There's you think they see facing forward, but very little is known about the Zix. You know that they take damage, obviously. But yeah, that's what you see that walks off the elevator. It's holding a large rifle, a large shotgun in its hand as it steps forward of whoever it possessed.
Okay, so it's just one, it appears, from what I can tell, coming through this door.
You don't know how many are behind it. You only see one coming through. You're not sure if there's more in the elevator about to come through as well. I'll say this. You can take the stealth attack on it right now because you passed that stealth check. Or you can run around to see if anything else is coming off, and if anything else comes off, you'll have to make another stealth check for nobody to turn around and see you.
No, I think Null would take the stealth check for Flair, maybe like kick him as he walks out and just fire 2 rounds.
Okay, all right. Do it.
So I'm dual wielding, so I'm gonna roll 2. I'll expend both ammo in each gun and then take the highest roll.
Yes.
So my highest roll will... What?
Sorry, a chat just came through.
Oh.
Jackie says, nice choice. I said I wasn't going to read chat while we were playing, but that one's just too good not to. Nice choice on the just shooting him.
My highest roll is a 14 plus my... It's pistol skill plus force, correct?
Yes.
So it'll be a total of 18.
18. He does not get a defense because it is a stealth attack, so you're dealing 18 points of damage. So death threshold would be 10, so it's plus 8, so 8 plus 5 is a 13 death threshold. Okay. So you just like kick him. Boom!
I'm sorry. It's actually plus the 4 damage modifier in sharp.
Oh yeah, he's very dead.
I forgot about that.
I mean, he was dead already, but that's fine.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You kick him. He goes like off the thing. It's weird to kick him because it feels hard, but it also feels soft in a weird way, and like the kind of fiery whatever around him kind of moves with the kick, and he kind of goes off his feet, if you can call them that. You take two perfect shots, one to the chest, one to the face, and it just like, you hear this weird, immeasurable, and then it actually implodes in front of you, leaving only this like skeletal remain.
Okay.
The skeleton is of the original human, but yeah, the whole gooey thing just implodes and goes poof, and like puffs out in front of you.
I quickly look at Thaddeus. I'm like, bad guy?
Take 1 experience points for role playing. I like that. All right.
All right.
At this point,
do I get a token for that too?
for the attack, yes.
Okay.
At this point, however, before he can answer, the person in the elevator behind him, you just hear this, "Ah!" And just, you see this, like, large, what would he be? He'd be an orc. Charges out at you. He's got a large, like, hand-and-half sword in his hand, just rushes forward to take a swing at you. Initiative, though, because you got the stealth attack.
Alrighty.
And I will roll for our good
And
friend.
initiative is my perception plus my roll, right?
Yep. Bad guy actually rolls
Nice.
a 21.
I roll I rolled a 20, and my perception is 2, so 22.
Oh, Slick Rick over here. All right, it goes you, him, Thad.
All right. I'm gonna use my. Actually, I think I would use my movement if you'll allow it. I would
Okay.
use my free movement to actually push Thaddeus back.
Okay.
I don't know how far it would move him. Maybe this whatever 15
You know
feet
what?
that my
Real
movement
quick,
is.
let's make a contested. Let's make a contested force roll.
Okay.
You against Thad, and we'll see, because he's not looking to be moved right now.
I rolled a 1, so probably not gonna win.
He rolled a 2. He has a +2, so that's a 4. What's your total?
He'll beat me. My force is only 1.
Okay. So you try to shove him, and he's like, "Excuse me!" Like, that's what you get back from him. Like, indignant that he's not capable of taking care of himself. However, that's your free movement action, so you still have some
Yeah.
at least a free attack. More
I'm
if you want
gonna-
to spend momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 1 momentum to get a second attack.
Okay.
And basically, this guy comes through. I kind of drop to a knee and shoot up,
Okay.
at him, trying to duck his swinging swords. Or
Still
axe
dual
or
wielding,
whatever.
right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So, first roll, highest is, I roll a 16, plus my offensive, I have a 17, 18, 19, 20, plus agility, correct?
Wait, no, it's force on the attacks.
Oh, yeah, sorry, so 21.
21 on the first attack.
Yeah, to hit.
Okay.
And then damage would be +4 if that hits.
He actually rolls an 18 +2, so he's going to get a 20 even. So he's only going to take the 1 damage plus
Plus
the,
4.
plus the 4. So that's 5
Yeah.
damage. So that's a threshold for him. Get my note card out here. All right. Or is it? It's above 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he's actually just barely okay then, because he took 5 even.
Okay.
Wait,
Second.
is it sharp damage though? The DTM.
Correct. Yes.
So he's only taking 1 vitality damage.
Okay. I don't remember the differential.
Sharp deals threshold damage. Blunt deals extra vitality damage.
Are you sure it's not the other way around?
No, that's definitely the way it is.
Oh, okay.
So one there. All right, so boom, and then second attack. So you're expending 4 bullets, 2 from each, right?
Correct.
Cool.
10 plus 4, 15.
Okay. He rolls a 12 plus 2 is 14. So you get what? Same thing again, right?
It would be 15 plus 4 for the damage wise. So yeah, it would be
Yeah. It's just a
5 over.
unlucky first couple of rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so boom, boom, boom. You're a little bit kind of thrown off by him coming at you out of nowhere. So you get a couple of grazing kind of shots in around his torso. Maybe one of them kind of goes off near his ear, kind of John Wicking it near him as he kind of comes in with a big swing at you. He rolls 17 plus 2, 19. I'm gonna switch that die out. I'm gonna be killing players with that die. Jesus Christ.
I roll a total of 13, and then I'll soak 2.
Right. You're adding in your conditioning, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So how much damage am I taking?
You're taking, so it would be 4 with the threshold damage will be 6. It'll be 4 to your vitality. So you'll take an injury.
Well, is that with my soak?
He did 17 plus, no. It's 17 total.
I did 13. So
Oh, okay.
he beats me by.
So you're going to take like 2 then. Just vitality damage.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so he swings at you. He doesn't catch you with the sword, but the kind of hilt of the blade catches your forehead slightly. Your hat falls on the ground, which pisses you off more than anything else. And then, and his, yeah. And then he kind of like turns back to come back around. However, it is. Oh no, wait! It's Thaddeus' turn.
Yeah, Thaddeus' turn.
Thaddeus is gonna cast a construct. Rolls an 11. Okay. All right, so Thaddeus kind of, you see him like, he kind of like glows slightly at his arm. He touches the ground, and you see like plates kind of suddenly appear along the ground towards the guy, and then just metal seems to construct itself out of the ground under the Viking and actually like hurls him straight up into the roof of the lobby. Just wow! He falls back down. He's going to take an injury. 17 injury. Gotta check that stuff. And that injury will be a... legs. So his agility score is reduced by 1. He drops. He's not dead yet, though.
All right. I will. I'm just gonna make a single dual wield shot.
Okay.
Nice, that's better. 18 plus 5, so 23.
Ooh.
Plus
Wow.
4 damage.
He got a 2 plus 4. So that will be... so that will be a, I think, 19 total damage with before you do the...
Yeah, plus the
thing?
4, so 23.
So he hits the roof. He falls back down, hits with the sword. He's starting to come to, and you just kind of like step around the metal tower and just boom, boom, just 2 shots. Both of them hit him in the face, and he stops moving.
All right.
Thaddeus just kind of looks at you. Well, I wasn't expecting that.
I could say the same about you. I guess I underestimated your combative abilities. That was quite impressive.
He looks at you and he goes, yes, indeed. I may not be a cowboy orc, but I will appreciate you not trying to push me out of the battlefield next time.
That's a half orc. I look nothing like this feller.
No, you do not. He's got much better abs. And then we're gonna cut to Wizard. I kind of want the buddy cop film of Philbilly and Thaddeus.
Right?
All right, so Ash, the alarms go off. Just as you're about to leave your office, basically.
Okay. And so I'm about to have this expedition. I don't actually have like a position, like a station on the ship at the moment, right?
No, you do not.
Okay, so there's not like a place I have to check in at.
Honestly, you're a
right.
surveyor. So, like, if you're in these kind of situations, your job is really just to help out, kind of.
Okay. All right, then.
As best you can.
And so it's just the alarms. I'm not hearing a ruckus or anything in any particular direction like that from my side of the ship.
You're definitely hearing a ruckus. I wouldn't say it is a ruckus level to what Gerald or Nullis have gone through yet, but you're definitely hearing a ruckus. The ship has shaken a little bit, possibly with some explosions. So there's definitely like an air of seriousness to this. Which is disconcerting to say the least, because, again, this is not a ship you attack.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
This
so
would
if
be
I
like,
just left my...
in Star Wars talk, this would be like sand people attacking the Death Star. Like, that's what we're talking about here.
Huh. Okay, yeah.
And somehow the Death Star's losing.
Okay. I would turn to my secretary and tell her to go to her quarters, and then start moving towards...
Oh, she's already gone to her quarters. You don't pay her enough for that. She's fucking out, man. She's under a bed somewhere. Like, no. I'm not dying for paperwork.
Then I'd just make a beeline, for obviously the ruckus. That's, the only place that I should be. But I would move with relatively, like, a degree of caution and try to keep, my awareness up as much as possible. Try and, like, as much, insight moving forward as I move towards this, whatever is happening, this attack.
Okay. All right. Okay. Give me a perception awareness.
Okay.
It's coming in real handy in session 1.
So many things. So many things need perception. 14.
14. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I know. I forgot. Call me out on it. Made me look like an a-hole. I've got to give that difficulty. It's like the crux of the game, and I'm forgetting it. Okay. You're able to relatively navigate yourself towards the main ruckus, you believe. Should call this episode Ruckus Hunter. However, you do hear quite a few gunshots, kind of more towards the living quarters of the ship, kind of echo and reverberate through it.
Okay. I would then go start moving towards obviously where the violence is. Am I closer to? I'm guessing I'm closer to that area since I'm hearing it.
You would have to assume so. Yes. The first kind of like shakes and crumbles seemed like a ship-wide thing. Like something had happened in the ship that made a shake. You wouldn't necessarily hear all the gunfights and sword fights unless you were near them. So hearing the guns going off are, yeah. Don't have to go towards them, but you definitely hear gunfire in the general direction of the living quarters, which surprises you that if the ship was getting attacked, which is what it's starting to feel like is happening, that there are already invaders in the living quarters.
Yeah. Well, I know what my duty is and what, like, I need to do here. So I would obviously start moving towards the noises of the gunshots and in the living quarters. But I would probably try to do it stealthily.
Okay.
Try to sneak around as much as possible, given the situation.
Give me a stealth roll, stealth and agility.
Do I have a difficulty?
Thank you. Well played. Well played. We're gonna say right now that it's a 12.
12. Okay.
And just for everybody out there, the standard difficulties are 5, 10, 15, 20. The only reason it's 12 is because you use the perception and awareness of the highest character that would see them, basically.
Right. All right. And I actually just barely hit a 12.
Okay.
My stealth and agility.
All right. So you are kind of like, you're taking it easy. You're heading towards the gunshots, but you're not wanting to run out into any sort of like death traps. You kind of come around a hallway into some lower level initiate dormitories. You think that the gunshots came from the floor above you, which would be like Order of the Eighth bedrooms, basically. Like newly given titles to sort of place, but you're in the initiatory dormitories, which are basically like just like a hallway. Like hallways and then huge large rooms with like bunk beds littering them, like 8 to 10 bunk beds a room. The initiates, they're going through training. They don't get the best stuff, basically. They kind of pile them in, I guess is to be what to say. But as you're moving through this, you're kind of moving from doorway to doorway, kind of heading towards the lift bank, which is kind of where you think the gunshots came from, when you just hear this like, and it's coming from up and inside one of the initiate dorm rooms. This whole area is empty right now, which shouldn't be empty because the initiates should have all come here. But there's a lot of prove yourself sort of situations going on. So you're not exactly sure why, but this is kind of like you don't see anybody in here. However, you do kind of peer around this corner and you see a Nyx, the Crimson Nyx that I've been describing. You see one of them. Then you see another kind of like small goblin. He's holding 2 blades, one in either hand. He has just some like dark pants on and kind of a big metallic kind of breastplate on. He's standing over a couple of initiates. One of them, he actually has his blade in the guy's chest. And then there's another Zix in the back of the room with another initiate. That Zix is actually holding the initiate down, and you can see that the black-red fire is slowly going over the other initiate.
Okay, so there's only 2 initiates in this room. One that's like being stabbed, and the other initiate is getting melted on his face.
Absorbed. Yeah, he's basically becoming absorbed. Like once the Zix absorb the whole body, they just become Zix, basically.
Okay. And this is one of the bunk rooms.
Yes, and then there's 2 Zix and the Goblin. And the Zix are not attacking the Goblin at all. The other Zix is just kind of standing there kind of stupefied while the Goblin repeatedly stabs this initiate like it's his job. I mean, it is his job, but to repeatedly do it over and over again. And he's just like, ha 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 ha.
That guy's okay. All right. That's kind of a dick. So inside. So Like, I would at least know something of this room. I'm at the entrance, sort of looking into the bunk room. Are there any other exits in the back room, like in towards the back, or is this the only exit and entrance?
It's the only exit. However, there is doorways between the dorm rooms. So there's like a side door between each dorm room.
Okay. Okay.
Like the rooms themselves connect to each other. In addition to
Gotcha.
the hallway.
I don't know that I could necessarily take these 3 guys on by myself. Can I try to lock them in this door room?
Yeah,
From
that
an
would definitely be possible. There is a control panel there. You will need to do like a mechanics and IQ check. And I would say this isn't something you normally have experience with. So I'm going to say that the difficulty would be 15.
Okay. I don't have a mechanics skill.
It's not intense, so you can still take the swing at it.
Okay. All right. So it's just straight intelligence.
Like you have a basic understanding of how doors on the ship work, basically.
So I rolled an 18, and my intelligence is a 3.
Wow, well done. Take a momentum for that one. I also want you to take you an XP point for the idea. That was pretty good. All right, so at this point, you actually kind of like do a couple of clickety clackities on the thing, and the door slides shut. But you rolled really good, so you actually managed to shut the other side doors around it too, using your security clearance, and managed to just like secure them in, like lock them in. You actually hear on the other side like what? Ow! Ah! And just like screaming. You hear some Zix wailing like that. But yeah, they're locked in. Good job.
Okay, cool. And then I guess I would just continue on looking for, where else I can like be effective.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Probably try to get up on the floor above since I was already hearing gunshots up there.
Yeah, we've heard those gunshots though, so I just gotta jump back to Philbilly really quick. Philbilly, at this point, would you do or say anything after this guy is dead and shot up, other than you're back and forth with Thaddeus?
I would probably think to myself, like, so this is what a pure orc looks like, because I've always been the strange one, in my little mostly human farm town that I'm used to. And then I would probably look at Thaddeus and be like, after you, like pointing at the elevator that's now, or the lift, I should say, that's now empty. And I would question him, like, what is that? Pointing at like the skeleton that's left on the floor that this red and black mist has almost dispersed from.
Thaddeus looks at you and goes, honestly, I can only half answer that, my friend. That should be a Zix. I know you know what that is. Everybody knows what that is. However, they don't have a red glow, and they certainly don't work with others. So this is quite a mystery. He also like puts his hand on your shoulder comfortingly and goes, and I am sorry that is the first experience you have of one of your own kind. I can promise you they're not all like that.
Yeah, well, that guy wasn't too friendly, so I'll be honest with you. I thought that whole Zix stuff, I mean, yeah, I've heard stories, but I thought it was all a bunch of horse shit.
Oh no. There is a reason for us. A big reason for us. And it is the Zix. Without a doubt. Ash, I'm gonna say you would go up the elevator at this point.
Okay.
Is that okay? Was that your
Yeah,
plan?
yeah. I was heading towards where I could be useful. I heard gunshot
Okay.
upstairs, so I was
All right.
looking for
That's what
something
I
to kill.
assumed. I just wanted to make sure before I did it. I didn't want to play you. At this point, you hear the ding of the lift again as it's coming up from the floor below.
I do.
Yeah, both of you do. You both look up.
I think I would probably ready both guns on the door opening.
He kind of stands next to you and goes, "Careful with the trigger finger, my boy. There are a lot of friendlies on this ship."
I know.
At that point, the door opens. Describe you guys yourselves. Well, first, I'll give it to you. First, Nellis, you see inside the elevator. Go.
Oh,
That's you.
So
Finger guns.
is a tall human male, sort of dirty blonde hair, gray blue eyes, and his uniform is like basically as immaculate as it could be kept. Very similar to that of Thaddeus's. Like every crease is you can tell this is the guy that irons his clothes every single day before he leaves the house. And he in his left hand he's holding the hilt to his saber, kind of prepared to draw it at a moment's notice. And he's sort of sitting in that elevator ready to go. Like he's in a stance about ready to pull his sword.
All right.
And you see an orc, a half orc and Thaddeus, but the orc looks like.
I think at this point he would have like I'm imagining. Do they wear like jumpsuits or something for the?
Yeah,
The
like
training.
uniforms. Yeah.
So I would say he's probably like got the uniform like unzipped and just wearing like the pants and the rest is kind of hanging down, and he's got a black Stetson cap on, green skin, brown beard with yellow eyes with a noticeable scar going through his left eye. He's also wearing long sleeve black cowboy shirt, like a button up, with covered by a dark brown vest with an insignia on it, and his holster at his side on each hip.
At this point, Thaddeus kind of like goes. He kind of takes a deep breath and he goes, "Alfred Whitecastle, meet Nellis Stonehand. Nellis Stonehand, Alfred Whitecastle. I guess now's the best time for a face-to-face."
You might say that, Thaddeus. But do you know what's going on here?
I would kind of gesture towards the skeleton and the orc on the ground, and I'd be like, I think what's going on is we got ourselves a bit of a problem.
Indeed. I locked two in the dormitories downstairs. Two of the... how do you pronounce it?
Zix.
Zix.
Z-I-X.
Two of the Zix.
Zix.
And a goblin. This makes no sense. The Zix... the goblins seem to be working together.
Yeah, we thought the same thing, and according to Thaddeus, that ain't too common for them to be buddying up.
It is
No.
not. All right. We are
I
going
hope
to...
you locked them in good and tight.
I did. They were quite displeased by their accommodations.
All right, we're gonna cut away to Gerald crawling through the. You are not comfortable. You have now been in the vent for about 10 minutes. You're 6'8", so this is just agony for you. It's like John McClane in the vents, man. This is the worst. Uh, and honestly, the guy in front of you seems right at home, which makes it even worse as he kind of leads you through. And then you guys end up kind of coming finally to a kind of a cafeteria area where he pops open the lid, kind of pokes his dirty hobo head out, kind of looks around, and then slowly drops down, goes, come on down here.
I'm just gonna kind of peek out of the vent cautiously.
It doesn't appear that there is anyone in this cafeteria currently. It looks like they were in the middle of a meal. There's like trays and food kind of scattered everywhere, like everybody was leaving in a hurry.
Understandably. Yeah, so he's gonna... how far off the ground is this? Is this like a... Are we on the ground?
It's like I want to say like 12 feet, 15 feet. It's nothing for you because you're huge.
No, just gonna kind of quietly drop down and...
It's harder for you
dust
to
off
get
his,
out of the hole.
Yeah, aside from being fairly like physically capable, it's not really like a turning around kind of space.
No.
I'm definitely going to straighten his suit out, dust himself off. They probably don't clean these vents often enough.
No. He's sitting there, he's like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I know how to get us to a ship. We can get off this thing. I don't know if that's a good idea, though.
I don't know a whole lot about ships, but I don't. What I know about space, there's just not a whole lot of places to go. Once you're there.
Well, maybe we get to the bridge. That's the only other thing I can think of. We get to the bridge, maybe we can regroup with them. There wasn't that many of them. Can't be too much of a fight.
You know, someplace with thick enough walls until this is over would be great.
Give me perception awareness. Difficulty 15.
You hold on. It's broken. There we go. Okay.
Come on, we almost made it through the whole stream without technical
11.
issues. Other than Joker face, we were doing all right.
Yeah, perception plus awareness is 11.
So you fail. All right. I'll gain a momentum then. Not that that
I'm going
matters.
to drop 2 of my momentum to re-roll that.
Go for it.
That's 19.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's really good. You actually just kind of like, you're talking to him, and then all of a sudden you hear movement outside the cafeteria and just like know enough that you need to hide right now.
I just kind of disappear into the wall.
Give me stealth and agility. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because you're in kind of a well-lit cafeteria. So we're going to say that total is... I'll make it a 15. We'll make the... So it's going to end up with that person's stuff being a... 12. 12 to stealth.
I reduce it by 2, and then it's a 16 on top of that, so I beat it by 6.
Great. All right.
It literally just is not there.
Just
Despite being larger than the door.
So like literally like the guy you're with is like, what was that? And then he turns around and you're gone. He's like, holy shit, where'd you go? Was I talking to a ghost? Goddamn. And then he like dives under a table. So you're hidden, you're being quiet, you're stealthy. It's at this point the orc with the red hair, the massive orc with the red hair and the glowing crimson dark red hand starts to walk through. He has a goblin on his right, just kind of like trailing him behind, kind of relaying information. And you hear the goblin go, yeah, we got him. They've got to be in the bunkhouse, the dormitories. We're in the dormitories and bunkhouse. We've got at least 20 minutes before the retaliation gets together, and then we have plenty of time to get out of here. And he goes, you see, he stops and he goes, see that you do. I want it found, and I want it to be mine. And this will be an example of our power. At that point, the goblin's like, yes, of course, master, core master. And then he kind of turns and walks out. At that point, the orc kind of stops and starts to look around a little bit. Do you do anything?
No.
You sure?
Dude, I mean,
That's fine. I'm just
I
messing with
hide
you.
more.
I'm just messing
harder.
with you.
Hide harder.
Gonna hide harder. He kind of looks around,
Close my
almost like
eyes.
almost like he didn't hear anything. And then he just turns. He punches through a table with the right hand. The table shatters, and he just pulls the hobo out of the table and up. And he goes, oh, mouse, and pulls him over. He slams him down on the table. You hear the guy go, no. I didn't do nothing. And he starts to raise the axe to cut him. You do anything now?
Oh.
Choices.
Oh. Yeah, stealth shot.
Okay, take it.
Nice.
You pass the stealth roll, so you just make an attack. It's just an attack roll. You add your pistol and your force.
And that is, and
You're doing the Undertaker.
yeah, I can't,
Like the lights
I can't
flicker
do-
and you're just behind him with the pistol.
Yeah.
But a 6'8" armadillo.
yeah.
So you-
Siege.
imagine how big a
Armadillo.
revolver that a 6'8" armadillo carries.
That would be insane.
Yeah, no, I can't mod any more. So, come on. Okay, that's a 16. And it's plus it's it's a 18.
What's your DTM? The sharp damage.
So it's so the attack uses the offense modifier.
Yes.
So I rolled 14 plus 2 for one pistol, one force, plus 2 for the offensive modifier is 18, and the DTM is plus 3 sharp.
Okay. All right. You whip out the pistol. Boom! Hits him in the back. He spins. And like spins and turns, falls over a table and lands on the ground, motionless.
I'm gonna grab the hobo and run.
Good call.
I'll grab the guy and he just by the shoulders and just out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We are going to end episode 1 there, everybody. I think that was awesome. I don't know if everybody had as much fun as I did. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you guys all experience points behind the scenes, just so that we don't have to do that on stream. I'll send it all to you via Discord tomorrow. And then you guys can spend stuff off stream too. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
Unacceptable.
So I hope everybody had fun. I hope anybody watching had fun. I do want to give everybody chances to plug if they would like it. Aether Dios, anything you want to plug?
I haven't streamed in like forever, but
Welcome back.
hey, it's fun to be here. Good to play again. Check out my friend, Old Man Gamer's channel all the time. He streams pretty much randomly.
Constantly.
Constantly.
Just something always on me. Philbilly, anything you want to plug?
Nothing too special. Same thing.
You guys are
I
too
do
sweet.
some stuff with OMG, so check it out. Other than that, if you guys, meaning you two, want to send me character descriptions, I can try to draw them up for you guys, and maybe we can make Zach find a way to post them, because I've already drawn my characters so that any viewers can check that out.
I can definitely find a way to post them. Let me think about it, and I'll figure out a way. Wizard's Respite, anything you want to plug there, man?
Yeah, I've got the Wizard's Respite. It's a website dedicated to TTRPGs. Obviously, absolutely love playing these games. And I think for plugin, we did a recording on Monday. I think it's dropping on Friday.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TTRPG game. The Wizard's Respite Sanctorum. So definitely check that out. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, please check that out. I'm going to keep my plugs relatively light today because I'm usually plugging the most, but I have a really big plug that I want to say. This month, April 28th, will be our second game from Axioms LLC release. Getting Over is coming out on that day. Please, please, please. It's only going to be $4 if you have any interest in wrestling. It can be played both solo or co-op. It's a lot of fun. I have been streaming it on Mondays with a friend of mine named Josh. You can also check those out there here on the channel. If you're interested in any way, shape, or form, I would really appreciate it. If you don't, obviously, don't. I get it. But yeah, if that interests you, please check it out. Like I said, it's only going to be $4. It's going to release on the 28th. So a week from this Friday. Please check that out. Of course, please check this out. I do want to really quickly thank Jackie Rakes, who is working really hard to get that #1 fan of Old Man Gaming award. I see you, Jackie. I see you. And then, yeah. Check out all those things. I really appreciate all of this. This game right here, if you're interested in this, it will be coming out later this year. I don't have a release date yet, but as you can see, it's basically finished. We just have to iron out some details. I want to really thank Aether Dios, Philbilly330, and Wizards Respite for playing. You guys are awesome. We will be back here to stream this again 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. This is going to be a bi-weekly stream because we all got lives, y'all. But we'll be back in 2 weeks to play again. And yeah, with that you guys can contact us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on Twitter at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below, influence us in all of our shows from there. As far as other people's websites, wizardsrespite.com, check it out for all the TTRPG stuff. And then as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.
Later, old man fam.
Bye.
I think that went really well.